Welcome to Severely Underrated, and welcome to a game which answers the question you've always had. What did it feel like to be your great
1 million zillion jillion dillion cotillion times later
grandparent hunched over in the prehistoric jungle, screaming at snakes and accidentally inventing tools? Since this is the only survival game in existence where the tutorial basically tells you
good luck. Good luck.
good luck.
And then shoves you out into the wilderness while a saber-toothed cat circles you like you're an undercooked snack. Welcome to Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey. So, as far as the plot goes, there is no plot. There is only fear, apes, and the fat guy's worst enemy, gravity. You start as a clan of early hominids in ancient Africa. You climb things, you eat things, you sniff things, you bang rocks together until something happens. If you're lucky, that something is evolution. If you're unlucky, well... So basically you learn through pain, suffering, and occasionally dropping off a tree branch. The game gives you an entire jungle full of predators, poisonous plants, and bad decisions, and tells you to figure out how to survive. Your activities may include climbing trees, which sounds simple enough until you realize that back then eagles were as big as a fighter jet. And not only that, but you run from literally everything. Snakes? Run. Hippos? Run. Birds? Run. A giant freaking centipede? But you'll be messing around, poking a stick at a coconut, and suddenly the game tells you, congratulations, you have unlocked motor control. Ah yes, my ancestors finally figured out how hands work. Beautiful. Also, might I mention that you must carry babies around to pass on learned skills? This is adorable until you forget you're holding one, slip off a cliff, and evolution rewinds a few million years. Now, on to fighting, which is an option, just saying. However, you will need to time some things correctly, and you also need a stick, which feels like wielding a lightsaber made of disappointment. Still, the moment you poke a giant cat and it runs away is the closest the game gets to a victory lap. But holy crap, is the learning curve steeper than the trees you fall from. Remember that part of most games where they explain the controls?
Pathetic.
Instead, this game whispers, "Figure it out like your ancestors did, nerd." And you will spend the next several hours sniffing every rock, tasting every berry, getting eaten, but mostly... The atmosphere of the game is awesome. You really feel like Batman. I mean, it's full of gorgeous African landscapes and climbing routines, as well as the feeling that most of the time it's simultaneously majestic and comedic. You're evolving humanity while looking like a hairy gremlin who just discovered the concept of fear. So basically your average subway morning. On to the progression. So, turns out that every little thing you do, sniffing leaves, cracking nuts, touching flowers like a confused hippie, builds neurons. Eventually, you unlock standing upright for half a second, picking things up without screaming, hitting things harder, remember where you live, and the ability to hold 2 items, which honestly I really can't stress enough how important it is. And then you get to the real achievement, passing this knowledge on to the next generation and evolving, losing some of your luscious hair in the process. But the best part is that when you manage to survive long enough to evolve to the next era, the game shows you what you have become.
Take your stinking paw off me, you damn dirty ape!
Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey is a brilliant, harsh, hilarious experiment in evolution and human stupidity. It's the only game where falling out of a tree teaches you wisdom, a stick is a technological revolution, and eating a mushroom is a leap of faith that might kill your entire species.
Mushrooms!
But when you finally evolve into a more advanced hominid and walk through the savannah with your head a little higher, your arms a little longer and your brain a little less smooth, it feels incredible. See ya, boys and girls, and remember to be nice to one another, have fun, leave a comment, like, share and subscribe for more videos.